My name's Connelly and I'm here from PIB just to give you a chat today on corporate manslaughter and essentially pose the question to you, are you doing enough to protect your employees as well as your company's reputation? At PIB we look after a large number of fleet clients from all different sectors such as haulage, bus and coach, and also financial services, but they all have the one thing in common: they all have to keep their employees or drivers safe. The unique nature of our service is we don't just offer placement of your insurance for effective premiums, competitive premiums, sustainable premiums. We also work in partnership with our clients to ensure that the risk improves and financial benefits are reaped as a result and effective corporate governance follows. Driving is typically the most dangerous activity you can ask your employee to undertake for you, and over 100 people are killed on the road or seriously injured every week as a result of someone driving for work. One of the stats that always alarms me is if you're doing over 25,000 business miles per annum, you have the same risk of being fatally injured as a coal worker or indeed a quarry worker. One of the things that we accept the risk of driving. It's socially acceptable. We get into our cars and we don't even think about it. We hear deaths on the road every day. We don't blink, but if someone is involved in a rail crash or indeed an aeroplane disaster, it makes big news, whereas driving disasters, not so much. Many employers are unaware of the risks and exposure if they don't manage their work-related road risks. However, HSE guidelines apply to on-road work activities just as they do to every other work activity. And as such, we have a duty of care to employees and anyone else that we may come into contact to keep them safe on the roads. At PIB, we look after a large number of corporate clients and we help them manage their road risk, and we work with partner insurers who will actually help fund initiatives to ensure that you're managing your corporate manslaughter risk. Employers have a duty of care to make sure that they are mitigating the risks that their drivers face every day. To be found guilty of corporate manslaughter, there has to be 5 elements present. You have to be a qualifying organisation. That definition is pretty wide, so most organisations qualify. You must cause death, and you must breach a relevant duty of care. And there must be a gross breach of that duty of care, and it must be partly due to the way in which you manage your work activities and the way you manage your organisation. The first and only corporate manslaughter case that's actually went through the courts and has resulted in a prosecution is with a company who operate cranes. So the driver was operating a 130-tonne crane and the brake system failed and the vehicle crashed into an earth bank. The front of the vehicle was crushed in impact and the driver was fatally injured. Several of the wheel brakes were inoperable, worn and contaminated. And when the HSE and the police went in to investigate the incident, they found that most of the cranes and all the other machinery were in the same state of repair. And as a result, the company were fined £700,000 in order to pay £200,000 worth in court costs. In November 2015, the fines that the HSE and the government can actually impose upon companies has been changed. And as a result, the fines have increased significantly. So I'll give you an example. There was a company who actually had quite a horrific accident in Glasgow. They were demolishing a pub and they hadn't done a proper risk assessment of a load-bearing wall that actually had the pub signage on it. And when they took the load-bearing wall down, the sign actually fell down independently and crushed one of their employees. And at the time, the HSE had decided that the company hadn't completed a proper risk assessment, and as such they failed in their duty of care towards that employee, and as a result they were found guilty and the fine was £45,000. Now that was 2 years ago. If you fast forward now to that case, if that case came against it in front of the HSE today, that fine would actually be based on that company's turnover, and the maximum they could be facing is £540,000. So there is a huge risk there to companies financially and also with their reputation. So should the worst happen, what you really want to have is evidence that you are taking proactive steps to make sure that this incident will never happen again, and that you have a robust system in place, including documentation to show that you have systems and procedures in place and that you actually take action if any of your employees or any of your procedures or systems actually fail. So I'm going to pass on to my colleague Dr. Jim Golby, who is going to show you systems he has in place to help mitigate that risk, and should put in a record that we do work with a panel of insurers who are happy to fund these initiatives if they feel that it will improve their risk. Thank you.
My name is Dr. Jim Golby. Basically, what we deliver is a one-stop, fully managed solution. We undertake all the activities required to make sure that you as the employer are fully legally compliant, covering all your duty of care, health and safety obligations, and effectively making sure the organisation's reputation is protected, as well as the safety of your staff. In terms of the benefits, I always like to say that by putting a proactive system in terms of addressing work-related road risk, there are a hell of a lot of benefits just from doing the right thing and doing what actually you should be doing as an employer. And as indicated there, we would typically expect to see accident rates reduced by 30 to 40% in year one. Improving fuel consumption, obviously reducing accidents deliver serious time and cost savings, protecting staff, reducing your risk levels within the organisation, controlling insurance costs and associated costs, and also crucially protecting the organisation's corporate reputation, because as Donna indicated previously, as of February 2015, the maximal fine now for a breach is 10% of annual turnover. Thank you.